Hey guys, I'm Jeffrey
and I am Jerry,
and together we are the MLW Brothers. It's good to really have you guys. It's good to be back again today to talk to you about the truth about marriage.
Yes, of course, I know the topic may sound corny coming from young guys like us. Then again, we are not experts, but we really would like to tell you the truth that we've been seeing from afar, comparing marriages that we've been seeing from afar.
Yeah, the thing is, I think me and Jerry are quite observant and we are inquisitive, we are curious, and so what happens is we like to read, we like to watch videos that are insightful, and also I think we really are good with the elderly, and so we get to ask them certain questions. And I think, Jerry, one of our superpowers is we are able to sit with the elderly and converse with them and get them to say a lot of things.
That is so true. And so consider us young detectives who have been researching about marriage for a while, and we'll just be giving you a few thoughts on what we think about the subject marriage. So we'll be going through a couple points with you about the truth about marriage, what we've been observing from afar. And our first point will be that divorce is a possibility.
One thing about we, the young ones that are yet to enter into marriage, is that we feel like marriage is supposed to be forever. Marriage is, rightly so, it's supposed to be forever. But the thing is, we fail to acknowledge the fact that divorce truly is a possibility, right? And so going into marriage, what we want to encourage you is knowing in the back of your mind that there's a possibility that there could be a divorce when you actually mess things up.
That's true. What we are truly saying is that there are a lot of things that can cause divorce in marriage. In fact, consider it that there are so many arrows thrown at you, which is divorce in a marriage. And so it kind of makes it almost inevitable that divorce is an alternative.
Yeah, divorce is I think the idea about divorce being a possibility is that it should probably trigger something into you, into your mind that, okay, if divorce is a possibility, that means that the relationship could go wrong if I do not put in the work that is required, right? And so the idea we want to put across is that divorce being a possibility means that the relationship may end when you mess up.
So ideally, the counterpoint is that instead of relaxing in the marriage knowing that it is a forever thing, you have to put in the work. If you relax, bro, either someone will take your husband or your wife away from you, or they will slowly drift away from you, which can be a problem. You don't want to go there. If divorce is a possibility, and people also ideally think that a marriage is a long life thing, ideally,
which it should be,
is prenup advisable?
Honestly speaking, if you are someone who you are very much aware that you are going to be very well, then you know that you probably want to sign a prenup, knowing that divorce is a possibility.
All right, that was just by the way, and I bet you that is a whole conversation on its own. With that out of the way, let's get to the second point, which is people change.
Another truth about marriage that people probably don't know or fail to acknowledge is that people change, people evolve, people disintegrate. So there's one fundamental law which states that nothing stays the same. It's either you are increasing or you are disintegrating. So you are probably one or the other. Knowing that you are either increasing or disintegrating means that people are constantly changing. So your partner you know now, 2 years to come, may probably not be that person.
This is actually mind-blowing. Like, listen to me. You were probably not the same person you were an hour ago because of the information you just received. So this is not, we are looking to say a year, or it doesn't even have to be long. It can just be one simple information before or one day into your marriage. Just acknowledge that people change. I bet you that it will do you a lot of good in the marriage.
So the whole idea of people changing should be a motivator to increase the love you have for your partner, increase the finances, increases the other things, because you can actually change into being better people. You understand what I'm saying? Change doesn't always have to be a bad thing. The thing about change is that people are scared. People like to predict things. People don't like to be in the unknown. But change can be a very good thing. So knowing that your partner can change, probably your partner is changing into a better person. Why don't you start thinking about that in a positive way? Your partner right now may start thinking about their personal development. They begin to start growing, expanding. and that could cause you to also grow. That could cause you to grow in your finances, cause you to grow in your communication, cause you to grow in your love. So acknowledging that people change, why don't you guys drift that idea into the positive side and actually plan to grow and change into the right direction?
Now, people change indeed. So what you should know is that while you are changing, you can make sure that you change together. That is one thing that marriage is all about. Knowing that whatever you are doing it together. I watched a couple one time, and the female actually made a strategic move into their finances, which was good. But the man was opposing the fact that she did it alone without the influence of the husband, which was very true. Whatever you do, whether positive or negative, make sure you do it together, and two is better than one.
Yeah, the flip side of that is that if your partner is changing and you don't also decide to change as well in the right direction, you realize that you feel left alone. You feel that you're not able to catch up. And so if you realize your partner moving in a certain direction, you know it's being beneficial to the person, and probably if you join will help the relationship, you might probably want to start moving yourself to that direction as well.
When that happens, that is when you look at your husband differently, you look at your wife differently, thinking, who is this? This is not the person I'm married. But why you should know that the person is evolving every now and then, just as you are evolving.
So now, if you are thinking of marriage or you're already in your marriage, know that your partner is constantly changing. But the most important question is which direction?
Okay, I think you can consider it a shapeshifter. This time not with the body, but with the character, the attitude, and the mindset.
And so finally, the third truth about marriage is that marriage is in 3 stages. Funny enough, this is something me and Jerry learned in SHS. We read it from a book, right? And it has stuck with that marriage is actually in 3 stages. The first one being that most often when you meet your partner, what moves you is love, right?
And the first point being love, of course, you can't marry someone you do not love. And so ideally, unless the circumstances are different, you will marry someone you love. And so that is what we mean by the first stage being love. So using the love as a fuel, what you want to do is that you make the early stage of the marriage memorable. And what we advise is that make sure you reach somewhat the peak of the marriage, being that you go on vacations, you bring your partner gifts and the like, so that in the course of the marriage, if things turns upside down, which it will, your partner can know that there's a possibility that this love can come back again, something like that.
As that we are advising people on finances, and we're also telling them to go on vacations and all of that.
So the thing about vacation and spending is some people intertwine the two. Vacation doesn't ideally mean you have to travel to Europe, you have to travel to South Africa, even when you've not been to before. If you're in Accra, if you're in Kumasi, you can just find some pizza man and go there and relax. You can just find some spa, some resort, and just chill. That's just about the vacation. And the idea is that you want to give as many good memories as possible, so that in the future, if things get difficult, your partner can remember the good times and then forgive you if possible.
And so the second stage is because of the kiss you have, right? Just like Jerry said, when you start up fresh like that, there's that love, there's that blossom that keeps you guys going. But almost inevitably at a point, the love kind of dwindles. And so what is most likely to keep you guys together is because of the kiss you have, right? So that your partner may not want to divorce even though you are being a pain in their ass. It's because of the kiss you guys have. And because you guys made this beautiful kiss, right, you feel this huge and enormous love towards them so much that it joins you guys and connects you on a deeper level. That keeps you guys. And so finally, the third stage when it comes to marriage is that you probably only stay with the person because you realize now there's nothing more to lose. You stay with this person all this while. And so how about you find yourself just a death partner, someone to die with, right? You understand what I mean? Upon reading this study back in SHS, I was fascinated by this idea because it had never crossed my mind. The idea that the love would die out and then the kiss will be the ones that will sustain the union until a certain point where the kiss probably grow and they also leave you and you realize, this woman or this man has been with me all this while. Why not just stay with this person so that we all die together? And I saw that with my grandparents as well.
The thing about dying partner is that, of course, while you are growing up, your circle of friends begins to shrink. Most of them die, others travel, and so it kind of makes sense that you don't really want to leave the marriage, even though things are somewhat awkward and the love is not there and the kids are even away. And so, because you need someone to be talking to all the time, and he or she becomes your partner for life and for death.
So these are our 3 truths about marriage. I feel like most people tend to overlook or probably didn't even have any idea existed, right? And so the first one was that divorce is a possibility, people change, and that the 3 stages of marriage is where there is a love that keeps you together, there is a kiss that keeps you together, and your death part.
All right, so you don't have to go into marriage to find out. We've given you the points, and so you have a better chance of having a sustainable marriage. And so with that out of the way, we hope that you subscribe if you want to, and then you hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified if we post in the future.
And if you're a married person, you feel these points make sense, right? Leave it in the comment section. Like we already mentioned, you're an expert. We feel like these are some of the points when you practice for help.
All right, see you in the next one.